Welcome to the housing market report here for San Luis Obispo County. I'll give you my perspective like I always do as an active real estate broker here on the Central Coast and give you my perspective as I'm helping buyers, sellers, and investors and what you can do to set yourself up for success for the end of 2025 and into 2026. We'll go over those trends, inventory levels, pricing, supply and demand, and some negotiation strategies for yourself as a buyer and what you can do to set yourself up for success as a seller. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it in the November 2025 housing market report here for the Central Coast. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think is going to be happening in the next few months for the housing market here in San Luis Obispo County. Let's get started. So let's go ahead and get started with inventory levels for last month in October. We had 240 new listings brought to the market, which was down about 5% versus last year where we had 252. And in 2023, we had 256. So right on par with what we've seen historically, generally speaking, in fall during October, November, December, we see a pullback in new listings that are brought to the market. It's just not as popular of a time to sell your house. You got a lot going on with Thanksgiving and with Christmas and the New Year. So generally people wait to list their house in the springtime. But that means there could be some opportunities out there for both buyers and sellers, because generally speaking, buyers who are out there are pretty serious buyers. And if you are a buyer and you have listings that are maybe have been sitting on the market for a little bit of time, days on market has accumulated, there could be some good opportunities for listings. But there you go, around 240 new listings as of last month, which brought our month supply to 3.8. Now that is up from 3.5 in 2024, which puts us at a balanced market. So we were in a very strong seller's market for the last few years. Now we're moving towards a more balanced market. Right now for the county, we have about 800 active listings, which is up 6.8% versus 2024, where we had 752 active listings. And in 2023, we had 606. So we're seeing a steady increase of active listings, which is good things, especially for the buyers out there. You have more options to take a look at, more choices. Maybe homes can fit your criteria a little bit better. What that means for sellers is you have more comparables to compare your house to, but it also means you have more competition. So you have to be very strategic about that initial launch price and making sure that you get the presentation right when you are listing your house. And we'll get into that in just a moment. So just a quick touch point as far as inventory levels that we're seeing here. General trend across the county is an increase of inventory. We're still under historic numbers of around 1,000, 1,100 here for this time period, but we're reaching those normal, historic, healthy levels of available homes for purchase. Let's take a quick shift over to demand. Last month in October, we saw 214 closed sales, which is down 13% versus 2024, where there are 247. We're right on par about with 2023, where there were 208. We were down quite a bit from September, where there are about 250 closed sales, which is pretty typical. We tend to slow down as far as sales are concerned in November, October, December, January, like I mentioned. So no big surprise there, but we did see a little bit more weakness when it comes to closed sales versus this time last year. On the median, those 214 transactions closed for a median sales price, $874,000. That was about on par with 2024, which was $884,000, and just a little up from 2023, which was $849,000. Slight increase from September for the median sales price, which back in September is $869,000. So surprisingly enough, even with that decrease in the closed sales, we're still seeing strong median sales price numbers for the county. Now, this is a great one that I like to look at. It is the original list to sales price. It really gives us a good idea Are we trending to more of a seller's market? Are we trending to more of a buyer's market? If we see that median list to sales price go down, let's say 95%, 94%, we really know that buyers are starting to be able to negotiate those prices down. And any new listings, any new sellers that are coming to the market are going to have to take a look at those new pricing numbers and price accordingly. However, we're seeing pretty balanced right now. The price that the sellers are asking and the value that the buyers are seeing is right about there at 100%, just a little off at 98%. Last year in 2024, we were 98.6%, so just about the same. And in 2023, 100%. So that's a great one to look at if you are a buyer. And what I like to break down with my buyers that I sit down for the buyer consultation to really understand which city, which neighborhood, which area are you looking, and on average or the median, what are those homes selling for under list price, original list price, and it really can give us a good idea if a home has been on the market for 2-3 months, what might we be able to have a lower price on, what might we be able to negotiate. Is it 2, 3, 4%? Or is it 5 or 6%? Or are most homes selling for 101, 102%? So it's always good to give an idea if you're a buyer on what the homes and the demand are in that particular neighborhood. We saw a pullback in the pending sales last month versus the previous year. Only 157 pending sales. That was down nearly 30% versus 2024, which was 224, and down even from 2023, which was 194. Median days on market, you're looking at 22. Now, the average is higher. It's around 45, but I like to use the median because it gets rid of those outliers. So 22, that's an increase from this time last year of about 57%, where the median days on market was 14. And in 2023, it was 10. So what does this mean? It means that if you're a seller, expect to take a longer time to sell your house. You're not going to get those multiple offers right away on the first weekend or the second weekend. It's going to take, about a month to sell your house. And if it takes more than that, good chance you need to make a price alignment change to reflect where the market's at now. So gone are the days where you're going to get an offer in that first weekend within a week, week and a half. Now, it still happens, of course, especially if it's if you have a house in a really desirable area, there's not a lot of inventory, and you price it aggressively to get a lot of buyers and really motivated buyers, which really is the theme. If you are a home seller, you got to price according to today's market and price attractively to attract a lot of those buyers. Buyers right now, we're seeing, are more picky. They have criteria that they want to hit, and they're just wanting to see kind of where the pricing lands with what the home seller is asking. So it's really important to come out of the gate priced well. Right now we're seeing about 7 showings per house before it goes into contract. So if you've had 10 or 15 showings and you're not in a contract, there might be something that you need to do with your house, maybe a freshen up, fresh paint, do some landscaping. The market is telling you that you might be overpriced or that you might not be presenting well. It's a good one to take a look at, 7 to 8 showings before you get into contract. If that decreases, means that we're headed to more of a stronger seller's market. As it increases, it means that we might see some more affordability in housing. We don't expect that to increase too much. We've been pretty much on trend for the last couple years around that 6, 7, 8 showings, but it's a good one for us to take a look at. So in conclusion, we are seeing the median price stay pretty steady, pretty consistent with the last few years at around $875,000. Days on market has increased like you'd expect. Inventory has increased. Pending sales have pulled back, which is expected in this time of the year. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what I'm seeing out there in the field as a listing agent and as a buyer's agent. So I really have both perspectives. So for listings, we want to make sure that we're pricing right off the bat correctly, because as we accumulate days on market, it's not going to bode well for us as we head into the winter months of December and January. So if you're thinking about selling and you're wanting to sell in the next few months, you got to get your house listed right away so that you can get it sold prior to December, January. Oftentimes, my recommendation is if you don't have to move now, wait until the springtime, but you want to make sure that you're preparing now so that you can be one of the first ones to list in the first couple weeks in March, April, the selling season in spring of next year, versus waiting and listing in June or July where you have a lot of inventory. As we expect this inventory to increase, that just means that there's more competition out there for you as a seller, which means that you're going to either offer more concessions, credits for buyers, or you're going to have to price reduce to get those buyers to take a look at your house. So right now is the time to be preparing for a sale in 2026. And there's a lot of things that you can do to prep up for success, but we can get into that in a different video. But just something to keep in mind, sellers out there, you're going to have longer days on market, and you're wanting to make sure that you're pricing correctly and know that buyers are a little bit more picky now that they have more inventory to take a look at. So for buyers out there, what we're seeing is that they are still ready to go put strong offers on the right type of house that fits their criteria and fits their budget. However, they are not motivated to take a look at overpriced homes. So as a buyer, you want to make sure that you're pre-approved, that you know what your criteria is, and now is actually a good time to be taking a look to buy a house. Why? You've got the increase of inventory. A lot of sellers want to get their home sold before the end of the year. They're willing to negotiate more than they would have during the summer or the spring months where there just were more buyers out there. So generally speaking, during this fall time, you're going to have fewer listings to take a look at. However, you're going to be able to negotiate a little bit more on those as a buyer. And again, if you're a seller, you're going to have fewer buyers, but they're going to be more motivated to make a strong offer and get the house closed before December, before January. So there you have it. That is the November housing update. Overall, we're seeing a balanced market here on the Central Coast. We're going to be keeping an eye on the mortgage rates and what that will be doing to affect the buying power for buyers out there and home values. If you want to sit down or talk to our team about buying, selling, or investing, we'd be happy to help you out. I'm a native here to the Central Coast. I lived here my whole life, and I've been serving the area as a broker for over 14 years. So if you're relocating to the area and you want an insider's perspective on what climate, neighborhoods, communities might best fit your lifestyle, I'll be happy to help you out with that. If you're looking to buy your first home, we love helping first-time home buyers. And if you're looking to sell your house, make an upgrade to the next house, or maybe you're downsizing, whatever your situation is, we'll be happy to sit down with you and consult you and advise you on what the next best steps would be. Thanks again for tuning in. We hope to see you on the next one. Like and subscribe and leave a comment. Again, let me know what you think is going on here. Until next time, take care.